Hello creation, I hope you're well. I wrote this last night. It's called The Spiritual Ladder. It's about it's about when you wake up, but you're sort of still in that theta state. You know, you're still in that sort of dream state. Anyway, it's a bit of a light-hearted one, is this? When I woke up this morning, I was laid upon my side. Although my mind was still half asleep, my eyes were open wide. I guess it was still theta brainwave state holding on to my awareness, a recognition of the not-so-norm that was rather freaking awesome in all fairness. Although this expression of consciousness was nowhere near stressed, the images that graced my sight left me somewhat more than impressed. The rogues within the gallery, unsightly at first glance, hopped up to the judge's bench, then did the Crooksville dance. The jury were the orchestra, conducted by the wizard, and playing on the fiddle was the infamous leopard lizard. Whilst upon the drums and having fun was Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, Bob Marley on the flute in his dapper suit, wearing pretty cool summer chill pants that were really colourful and baggy. The bailiff had a stick of rock that came from some seaside town, and when he wasn't looking, the elves pulled his shorts right down, unveiling naught but a barefaced cheek that was sporting a tattoo of the word happy. Then he skipped and jumped right out the window and landed through the sunroof of an old Datsun Cherry. All the clouds were upside down, but how would we ever know? Then Jack planted the beanstalk and we all laughed and watched it grow. The green man turned a shade of pink when Mother Nature held his hand. Then the man in the moon was well perturbed when asked to take the stand. A cheese board was the witness to give testimony to that of which something it never saw, and the locust carpenter got to work and made a windy house out of the floor. Well, this gave rise for concern, as we'd now no floor to walk upon. "Order! Order!" cried the judge. Then in a puff of smoke we went, and he was gone. "Mayhem in the making" was written on a sign hung upon the wall. Summer became spring and winter became fall. I know that it's an Americanism, and we Brits all say autumn. Then in walked the librarian selling books that had no pages, so I bought one and tried to read it, and that took bloody ages. Then finally, to top it all, my spirit guide gave me a nudge. I didn't want this ride to stop, so I said I wouldn't budge. Then I realised that he's the one who's been helping me to climb up the spiritual ladder. So begrudgingly I conceded to his love-filled request. And besides, it was time to empty the bladder. Aye. Just a light-hearted one this morning. Oh. But what prompted that bit of silliness was, I remember place where I lived, we are tested in many ways. We're tested in many ways. Our empathy is tested, our compassion is tested, our resilience is tested, everything is tested one way or another throughout life. That is a fact. And this one particular evening, I was coming back from Wakefield on another whiskey-filled destructive binge, and I smoked then in them days, and as I was walking past I was getting close to the old courts, the old courthouse, it's got pillars, you know, the big sort of circular round pillars, huge. And I just heard this voice from the back, from the side of one of them. You ain't got a cigarette, have you? And I looked, and it was this young lass, young female. My opinion, more than likely an angel sent to test. That's what I believe. Put there at the right time. So I said, yeah, sure. So I asked why. I said, well, so, you know, what are you doing? What? She went, oh, I've no home. I said, how come? How come you're out on the streets? And she just went, oh, just circumstances. Alright, so don't question. I said, have you eaten anything? She said, no. She says, I forget exactly what she said, but anyway, I said, well, if you like, I said, you can come and stay at mine. I said, for tonight, until you get sorted. So I watered her, I fed her, I gave her something to wear. She gave me a clothes. You know, there was nothing untoward. I washed her clothes, got them dried for next morning. She slept downstairs on the sofa. I did offer for me to sleep down there, by the way. You know, like I say, there were no hidden agenda or anything. So anyway, I slept upstairs, and I could hear the drawers going downstairs, but I thought it don't matter. There's nothing there really of any great importance. So then I woke up and took her, you know, fed her, watered her, and took her into Wakefield, dropped her off where she wanted, and never saw her again. Now the next morning, when I woke up, I was in the dream that I was half asleep. I was in the Theta state still, you know. And I opened my eyes, and I could see, as I looked to the light, it was like Morse code, but it was in the shape of an eagle. You know, like the eagle that the Americans have with the wings outstretched and it's sort of looking to one side. And it was like Morse code. And then I sort of shut my eyes and opened it, and I could still see it. I believe that was some sort of an upgrade for, you know, for doing good. For doing good. Now some people will say, "Wow, man, what planet's this guy on?" It's my reality. It's whatever has been, you know, how we perceive it. We can either buy into the mundane, day in, day out, Groundhog Day, or we can be open to change and perceptions and downloads and upgrades, because we are the universe. And we do get downloads and we do get upgrades. There's something else that was vitally important about that as well, that happened at that same time. Because of that, and I can't quite remember what it was now. It's been sort of quite a number of occasions where, you know, I feel that I've been blessed because of my actions, you know, that have been without, they've been unconditional, you know. Anyway, I'm about to run out of time with this, because it's only 10 minutes, isn't it? So, but yeah, and that's what prompted it. When I opened my eyes and I saw that, that's what prompted it. It just came into my mind, so I thought, well, I'll write that and just make it a little bit light-hearted, you know. So, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll do another one tomorrow. Take care.